Hey everyone! Welcome back to the Daily English Studio, your go-to place to improve your English skills. Today, we're diving into one of the most powerful techniques for improving your English speaking skills, shadowing. If you've ever struggled with pronunciation, fluency, or sounding more like a native speaker, this technique is for you. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to use shadowing to take your English to the next level. Let's get started. What is shadowing? Shadowing is a simple but incredibly effective technique where you listen to a native speaker and repeat what they say immediately and out loud. It's like being their echo. You're not just repeating words, you're mimicking their pronunciation, tone, rhythm, and even their pauses. Why shadowing works? Because it trains your brain and mouth to work together in English. It helps you internalize the natural flow of the language so you can speak more confidently and fluently. Shadowing is one of the most effective techniques for improving your English speaking skills. And here's why it works so well. Reason 1, improves pronunciation. When you shadow, you're not just listening, you're actively mimicking the way native speakers pronounce words. This helps you pick up on subtle sounds, stress patterns, and intonation that you might miss otherwise. For example, English has sounds that don't exist in other languages, like the difference between ship and sheep. Shadowing helps you practice these sounds until they feel natural. Over time, your mouth gets used to forming these sounds, making your pronunciation clearer and more accurate. Reason 2, builds fluency. Shadowing forces your brain and mouth to work together in real time. By repeating what you hear immediately, you train yourself to think and speak faster in English. This helps you break the habit of translating from your native language, so you can speak more fluently and confidently. For example, instead of pausing to think, "How do I say this?" you'll start to recall phrases and sentences automatically. This is how native speakers talk. They don't think about every word. They just speak. Shadowing helps you get to that level. Reason 3, boosts confidence. The more you practice shadowing, the more comfortable you'll feel speaking English. It's like having a conversation with a native speaker, but without the pressure. You'll start to notice that words and phrases come to you more easily, and that's a huge confidence booster. For example, if you've been shadowing a scene from a movie, you might find yourself using some of the same phrases in real conversations. This makes you feel more prepared and less nervous when speaking English. Reason 4, helps you sound more natural. Native speakers don't just use words, they use rhythm, tone, and pauses to convey meaning. Shadowing helps you internalize these elements, so you don't just sound correct, you sound natural. For example, in English, we often stress certain words in a sentence to emphasize meaning. Shadowing helps you pick up on these nuances, so your English sounds more authentic. Reason 5, makes learning fun. Shadowing lets you practice with real-life content like movies, podcasts, or YouTube videos. You can choose topics you enjoy, which makes learning feel less like studying and more like entertainment. For example, if you love cooking, you can shadow a cooking show. If you're into sports, you can shadow a sports commentator. When you're having fun, you're more likely to stick with it. Reason 6, builds muscle memory. Just like athletes train their muscles, shadowing trains your mouth and brain to work together. The more you repeat phrases and sentences, the more they become second nature. This muscle memory makes it easier to recall words and phrases when you need them in real conversations. For example, if you've shadowed a lot of travel-related content, you'll find it easier to ask for directions or order food in English when you're traveling. Reason 7, encourages active listening. Shadowing isn't just about speaking, it's about listening carefully. You have to pay close attention to the speaker's tone, rhythm, and pronunciation. This active listening skill is crucial for understanding native speakers in real-life situations, like conversations or watching TV shows. For example, if you're shadowing a podcast, you'll start to notice how the speaker uses intonation to express excitement, surprise, or sarcasm. This helps you understand not just the words, but also the emotions behind them. How to shadow effectively. Now, let's break it down into simple steps so you can start shadowing today. Step 1. Choose the right material. The first step is to pick the right content to shadow. Look for audio or video clips with a native English speaker. It could be a podcast, a TED Talk, a YouTube video, or even a scene from your favorite movie or TV show. Make sure the content is, first, clear and easy to understand. You should be able to hear every word distinctly and clearly. Avoid clips with excessive background noise or loud music that could be distracting. Second, interesting to you. Choose topics you genuinely enjoy so you can stay consistently motivated. For example, if you love traveling, pick an engaging travel vlog. If you're into technology, select a well-explained tech review. Third, not too fast or too slow. The speaker's pace should feel naturally comfortable for you to follow. If you're a beginner, start with slower, more clearly articulated speech. As you improve, you can gradually move on to faster, more natural conversations. Step 2. Listen first. Before you start shadowing, listen to the clip at least once or twice. Pay attention to pronunciation. How does the speaker say each word? Notice any sounds or stress patterns that are new to you. Tone and rhythm. Does their voice go up and down? Where do they pause? For example, in English, we often pause after commas and periods. Meaning, what are they talking about? Understanding the context will help you shadow more effectively. If you don't understand a word or phrase, look it up before you start shadowing. This step helps you get familiar with the content so you're not just repeating sounds, you're repeating meaningful language. Step 3. Start shadowing. Now it's time to shadow. Play the clip again, and this time, repeat what the speaker says immediately after they say it. Try to match their speed. Speak at the same pace as the speaker. If they're speaking quickly, don't slow down, try to keep up. This trains your brain to process English faster. Copy their tone and rhythm. Pay attention to how their voice rises and falls. For example, in questions, the tone usually goes up at the end. Mimic their pauses. Notice where they take breaks and do the same. Pauses are important for sounding natural and giving your listener time to process what you're saying. Don't worry if you make mistakes or can't keep up at first. Shadowing is about practice, not perfection. The more you do it, the better you'll get. Step 4. Break it down. If the clip feels too long or fast, break it into smaller parts. For example, start with just 10 to 15 seconds of audio. Shadow that part repeatedly until you feel comfortable. Then move on to the next part. This approach helps you focus on mastering small chunks of language before putting it all together. For example, if you're shadowing a movie scene, you can focus on one line at a time. Once you've mastered that line, move on to the next one. Step 5. Record yourself. Recording yourself while shadowing is a game changer. Here's how to do it. Shadow a clip as usual. Listen to the recording and compare it to the original. Pay attention to differences in pronunciation, tone, and rhythm. This helps you identify areas to improve and track your progress over time. For example, you might notice that you're pronouncing a word incorrectly or missing the rhythm of a sentence. Use this feedback to refine your shadowing practice. Step 6. Practice regularly. Consistency is key. Aim to shadow for 5 to 10 minutes every day. Even a short daily practice can make a big difference over time. Here are some tips to stay consistent. Set a routine. Shadow at the same time every day, like during your morning coffee or before bed. Mix it up. Use different types of content to keep things interesting. For example, you can shadow a podcast one day and a movie scene the next. Track your progress. Keep a journal or record yourself regularly to see how much you've improved. For example, you can record yourself shadowing the same clip every week and compare the recordings. Step 7. Challenge yourself. Once you're comfortable with basic shadowing, try these advanced techniques. Shadow without pausing, play the clip without stopping, and try to keep up. This helps you improve your listening and speaking speed. Shadow faster speakers. Challenge yourself with faster-paced content like news reports or comedy shows. This pushes you to think and speak faster. Shadow longer clips. Gradually increase the length of the clips you shadow. For example, start with 30 seconds and work your way up to 2 to 3 minutes. Tips for success. Here are some extra tips to make your shadowing practice even more effective. Start small. Begin with short clips 30 seconds to 1 minute and gradually move to longer ones. This helps you build confidence and avoid feeling overwhelmed. Focus on one speaker. Choose one person to shadow at a time. This helps you get used to their speaking style and makes it easier to track your progress. Have fun. Pick topics you enjoy, whether it's a TED Talk, a movie scene, or a podcast about your favorite hobby. The more you enjoy it, the more you'll stick with it. Your shadowing challenge. Now, it's your turn. Here's a challenge for you. Find a short clip of a native English speaker. Shadow it for 1 to 2 minutes. Come back and let me know in the comments, how did it feel? What did you notice about your pronunciation or fluency? Well, that's it for today's lesson. Shadowing is a game changer for improving your English speaking skills, and I hope you give it a try. Before you go, I'd love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments, what's one thing you'll try from today's lesson? Are you going to shadow a movie scene, a podcast, or something else? I can't wait to hear about your plans. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend who's also learning English. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss a lesson. And remember, the key to success is consistency. Keep practicing, keep shadowing, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.